What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Look, he's making fun of me. So we have an interesting thing. It's been an interesting 24 hours to say the least after Demarcus Lawrence got signed by the Seattle Seahawks, and he literally threw the Dallas Cowboys under the bus, in which case then Micah Parsons threw him back under the bus and backed that mother helper up and things. The thing I always say is don't don't burn bridges. Don't burn them, because you never know when you may need something from where you were before. And that's the case where I have to say Dante Fowler has definitely, excuse me, not Dante Fowler, Demarcus Lawrence has definitely burned some bridges here. It's a Demarcus Lawrence. You know, he said he's, got people in Dallas and all that. I'm not sure that you're going to be very welcomed after what's done transpired here, so on. And I'm going to say, I know Demarcus Lawrence is a really good run stopper and things, but Micah Parsons has only been there for 4 years of your 11-year career, so you can try and blame him for not getting to the Super Bowl. But I want to say 2 of those years that he was playing, I don't believe you played full seasons. Just saying. Those who live in glass houses shouldn't be the first ones to cast the first stone. And so you had a part of the Cowboys not winning the Super Bowl as well. Be that as it may, thank you, Clarence, Clarence Missing in Action, who just sent me a text to say that the Cowboys have re-signed Dante Fowler. What's interesting is this is a case where you all of a sudden say, the perfect case study when you say some of the guys that we've hired that people will say they're bums, man, they're nobodies, man. Get me a big name player. Well, here's the thing. Here's what's interesting. Dante Fowler, when the Cowboys signed him, when Dan Quinn first came in, was coming off, I think, a 4.5 sack season with the Atlanta Falcons. When the Cowboys signed him, people were like, man, this guy's a bum, man. He sucks, man. We don't hire any real talent. Well, the reality is he's actually played really well in a role for the Dallas Cowboys as part of the rotation of being a pass rusher, edge rusher, and things, and played really well. He went to the Commanders still under Dan Quinn. Oh, the wind is cold. Under Dan Quinn, and Dan Quinn had him at 10.5 sacks this year. So all of a sudden you look and say, well, damn, that guy's balling. Well, the reality is do we know what player that's going to be? He's definitely got experience. He knows the Dallas Cowboys organization. And this is a guy who did not throw the Cowboys under the bus. Yeah, he didn't throw the Cowboys under the bus, which makes it a little bit easier to say, you know what? Money talks, BS walks, and it's easy to come back in here. That shit that happened last night between Demarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons and everybody, it makes you question now the locker room. And somehow, well, hold on, let's back it up some more. Apparently, we know that D-Law, of course, is butthurt that he's no longer with the Cowboys. And I think Micah Parsons is right about that. Basically that is, we done broken up, and now, you never did it for me. You never did it for me. I'm happy with who I am now. That's what that is. But the thing you have to wonder, though, and Micah has to actually look deep inside and say, is there a problem with the podcasting and things like that? Because I'll be honest with you. I get it. Football is different than when I played years ago, where you hated the other team, and now everybody is an independent contractor, and we can be friends even though we're not on the same team. I get that, okay? Something about trading jerseys after the game. When I played football, the last thing I want to do after having, 60 minutes of battling your ass is to be buddy. I really wanted to kick your teeth in. But I get it. This is a new world. But what you have to wonder is, when you had times like after we got rolled by Detroit, and you're yucking it up with big play Slay after your team got mollywopped and you couldn't play, it's kind of a bad look. And the guys are there in the trenches that are getting beat see you laughing about them getting their ass handed to them. It's kind of like, what the F are we doing here? So I can kind of see that could be a problem for the Cowboys players in the locker room. It's like, are we brothers here in this battle together? We just got the crap kicked out of us, and you're up here laughing and hawing it up and jawing it up and having a good time. And that does not look good to others. So I see that all the way around and say, yeah, I understand exactly what the message is from not only DeMarcus Lawrence, but also we had the same thing from Malik Hooker. Now the question is how many more players in there have that opinion or that feeling? Because if you're going to win, we got to be brothers in arms. Anyway, the Cowboys, we still haven't heard anything on Cooper Kupp, okay, which they said that they hope that this would be an announcement today, and it sounds like he must not be getting the offers that he wants. And so now it's a game of chicken, I guess, between Seattle and Dallas on who's going to pay him the most at the moment. And, everybody's trying to be cool to get the best deal. Cooper Kupp hoping that somebody will come through with a big pile of cash, and both teams hoping that his numbers will come down. We'll see if something happens. And it's kind of like with Aaron Rodgers right now. Aaron Rodgers is not signed with anybody, probably because nobody's offered shit to him. You got your sister? So if we're gonna go to the tunnel, huh? Okay. So Dante Fowler coming is good because Dante Fowler is more pieces in the rotation, and you're going to need rotational pieces. We just don't have the playmakers yet. That's what we're still looking for, is the playmakers. We've got the role players, we've got the depth people. We need playmakers, right? Yeah. Can't believe how big this scoot's done grown up. I've gotten old. All right, you good people. As always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks, everybody, for the thoughts, the prayers, and everything. The service has happened, and it was a beautiful thing. And, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. All right, you good people. Love you. Peace out.